Em and I have both found successful careers in management.
Yeah.
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we are jumping into r/NeckbeardStories. I just can't help myself. I gotta do it. And also I dragged my friend Moonhorse in on this, so he's gonna be doing some voices in the second story, some voices for the OP, because you know I couldn't do without my beard voice. We've also got more exciting news on the way. My Teespring shop is officially open, so you can head on over and get some merch there. My wife's channel, my personal subreddit is popping. Just everything's going on. I'm super excited to be doing this YouTube thing full time, but I'm sure I'll gush about it even more at the end of the video. You guys are here for the cringe, right? So let's not hesitate any longer, and we'll jump right into these stories after some plugs and disclaimers. Roman Greco knife fights. I had to read this one just because of the title. That sounds badass. This happened years ago, and I've been hesitant to post it online due to how specific the characters and the situation described are. But after some consideration, I feel like if anybody could tie the story back to something IRL, it would be me telling them, and I'm fine with that. End run on. Okay? Thanks for sharing, OP. I went to a school a little bit older than most people. Because of that, I opted out of university dorms in favor of private student housing, which was popping up all over campus. The place I chose, unbeknownst to me at the time of signing, was known for its excessive party culture. I walked into the gym the first Sunday I was there and discovered empties, clothing, and furniture strewn about the common area near the volleyball court and the pool. Sounds like a living hell to me, but I guess as long as you're okay with it. Later on, my roommates and I would engage in a heated dispute with our upstairs neighbors because we were sick of getting pissed on when we were trying to use our balcony. It was wild. Like I said, living hell. No, thank you. My first unit was okay, but I had to share a bathroom with another roommate. I decided that I should probably apply for a different unit with an ensuite. The application process was pretty simple. They ask you questions about your interests and vitals, and they moved me in with two other guys that should have had similar hobbies, ages, and majors. So I, 23-ish, accounting and computer science, and a sports fan, get placed with M, 27-ish, accounting and finances, also a sports fan, and also K, who was 25-ish, never enrolled in school, and he works as a butcher at a grocery store. He also attends all the local cons and volunteers as an actor at the haunted houses. Well, he goes to cons. I guess I know who the Neckbeard's gonna be. Full disclosure, in the story that follows, M and I may come off as major douchebags. Retrospectively, we probably were. However, what this story will leave out is the escalation to this event, which provides us with some defense in the form of, why the fuck did you choose to live in an expensive student housing if you're not tolerant of the schedules and habits of students? Now you brought up the defense, you know I gotta poke some holes in it. Let's see about it. Since this story, Em and I have both found successful careers in management and have developed significant conflict resolution skills and improved empathy. There's so much setting up of like defense for himself. That's how I know I'm gonna end up hating the OP. Alright, we'll give him a chance. It's okay. Everybody breathe deep. But the mindset that we shared at the time was K was in the wrong environment by choice, and we were tired of working around the challenges that came with that. Oh yeah, he chose to live in a party house, right? No, you made the house that. But again, getting ahead of myself. Leading up to the story, M and I had tried to get K to socialize. This included attempts at getting him out on the town, which, when he agreed, only lasted an hour at most, trying to play video games with him, which resulted in him buying games for my PlayStation, and then telling me I couldn't play because it was his time. And holding some casual kickbacks, where he would routinely make our guests uncomfortable through sexual advances. So it seems like he's an introvert and you're just purposely trying to help him in all the wrong ways. And maybe you know it's the wrong way because of the way you're getting so defensive, OP. A? Am I close to the mark on that? A list of other minor grievances collected by the Snowball were watching a video recording of a performance of Phantom of the Opera and singing along loudly on repeat. Oh my god, he enjoys a musical. How dare he? Eating our specialty food without asking. M was a celiac and I just bought specialty things. Well, I guess that is kind of a dick move. I'll grant you that one. Stacking empty pizza boxes under the counter until no more could fit. Gosh, the other two party animals in the house seem like such cleanly people. Filling the trash and covering the counter in empty 2-liter Pepsi and Captain Morgan bottles. I think that was probably the party animals again. Having his girlfriend and her friends come in and stay with us for up to a week at a time without informing us. Yeah, we only want strangers here for one night. Just fill up the house with strangers, but having somebody stay in your room for a week, how dare you? Ugh. I'm judging OP so harshly, but come on, man. Fucking come on. The main point of contention here was M and I maintained pretty normal school schedules. The week was dedicated to class and whatever part-time work we were doing, and the weekends, we went pretty hard. Conversely, K had the early week off work, and all the prime party days had shifts of 6 a.m. Eventually, K came to us and explained that
when we had people over on the weekends, he couldn't sleep in his bed on account of the noise.
And instead he'd been retreating to his walk-in closet for weeks. Honestly, K should probably be making steps to get himself out of this situation, but a good defense is not like, we're in college, bro. We go pretty hard, dude. You sound like a fucking douche. Anyways, since M and I were not completely soulless bastards, we tried working out a compromise that involved dialing back the Thursday and Sunday activities and promising Kay that we would give him a heads up if we planned to have people over Friday and Saturday. But we also questioned why he chose to live here when there were better options for him. He claimed cost, but at the time, renting a room in student housing was just as expensive, if not more, than an apartment closer to his job. So we likes the place. Fucking sue the kid. I still dislike OP. We shook hands and thought that this agreement was sound. Over the course of the next few subsequent weeks, M and I were upholding our deal. We started getting more into the apartment party scene. Oh god. M was a spectacular ladies man and mixologist, and I was a pretty talented host who loved to party. You guys really are fucking douches. Our get-togethers started growing in size, and we started treating it like a real thing. For one party, we actually printed flyers in the business center and started canvassing. At the time, I had dozens of numbers in my phones where I didn't recognize the name, or like the last name was Party, or there was even just like no name at all. Wow, dude, you were super popular. What a cool guy. I'd like to hang out with him. When we planned something, it was like a giant group text with the address, time, and rules/expectations. Or, you know, like an invite to a private Facebook group with all the deets. We call it deets because we're cool guys. We gave Kay a heads up for this particular Friday night, and he assured us that the weekend was fine because he took time off since his girlfriend was in town and would be staying with us. Cool. The response we got from the invites was overwhelming on its own, and that didn't include the word of mouth that we couldn't track. M made gallon jugs of his specialty cocktails. We had music videos going on our legit hi-fi system and big screen. We had beer pong and card games, all of it. At one point, one of our neighbors took it upon himself to act as a doorman, throttling how many people could come in at one time. If people wanted to skip the line, we asked him to go get more supplies. A rough estimate that we all agreed on was we had over 300 people come through our 900 square foot apartment that night. Living hell. God, dude. No wonder this introverted kid is on edge. But OP's like, nah, he's just a neckbeard. Like, no, you're just a fucking douche. I think I've said that about 5 times. I'm gonna try and stop saying it. No promises. It was easily the craziest house party Em and I had ever attended, let alone hosted. I even met my future awful and abusive ex-girlfriend that night. Lucky you. As the night wound down, there were about 8 people left. We sat around shooting the shit, playing cards, and listening to music, and one of them floats the idea that we should host a small card game the next night. Nothing huge, just the crew that was there at the end. Em and I mull it over and decide, yeah, that'd be fine. We'll just keep it low key. I'm sure you will. This was probably our first mistake. Not that we didn't keep it low key, okay? But we used Kay's situation of him having the weekend off to hang with his girlfriend as implicit consent to have people over the following night without telling him first, as he was already asleep. Yeah, bro, he slept all through the next day, too. Fucking assholes. The next night, the 10 of us convene for an evening of 50-cent poker and conversation. The night's going well. We're playing music, much lower than the night before, I assure you. We were just drinking a couple beers and, shooting the shit. Kay's room was in the center of the apartment, directly across from the laundry closet, both separated by the dining table that we were all seated at. I was standing out sometime around like 10 or 11, leaning against the laundry door, observing the game on the dining table. Em, who's deaf and keeps his hearing aids a bit low, is in the kitchen mixing up some leftover cocktails for the guests. I like how you described the layout of the apartment. It's like, basically we're sitting outside of his door, 10 people just fucking chilling outside of his door. Oh God. I hear a loud bang and look up across the table to see Kay, in only his briefs, hunched over and hyperventilating with a look of rage and wielding a knife in each hand. Uh-oh. One was a cheap folder, and the other was a fixed blade of some sort with an eye on the butt that he used as a pivot as he twirled it on his finger. The girl sitting immediately across the table with her back to his door instantly jumps up and bolts for the exit in a sprint. Kay snarls, "Turn that shit the fuck down!" I respond calmly, "Kay, I would be happy to turn down the music, but can you please put down the fucking knives? This is a bit much." I got no response. "Kay, what you're doing right now constitutes assault. People are scared. You saw that girl run away." Still no response. While maintaining eye contact, I worked my way sideways from behind the table towards the living room where the hi-fi was and the entrance to my bedroom. "Kay, please just put the knives down and put some clothes on and we can discuss this." Through his door, I can see his girlfriend on the bed, watching a tablet or a TV or something. I turn down the subwoofer amp and the main receiver. The rest of the guests are frozen at the table. M is oblivious to all of this since he has his hearing aids down low and is focusing mostly on drinks. He's dancing merrily in the kitchen with some solo cups and a chick named Francesca. The guests start quietly trying to encourage him to go back to his room and apologize for the noise. I make it to my room and reach behind the door for my gun. Dude's got a fucking gun. 300 people in my apartment and I got a gun behind the door. Yeah, it's a good decision. It's a good decision. Kay, please just go back in your room. We'll send everyone home. We can talk about it tomorrow if you'd like. I'm sorry if it was too loud. At this point, I'm standing in my doorway with the right half of my body hidden from view, holding the gun. Kay is still looking at me, still hunched over with the knives, but not speaking or moving. This is when M looks up from the kitchen bar and loudly yells, "Kay, what the fuck are you doing? Put that shit down and get the fuck back in your room." This seems to have broken his seemingly hypnotic state, and he turns to M startled. M, quieter this time, but not exactly calm, says something along the lines of, "Dude, what is wrong? Put some clothes on, and what's with the fucking knives?" Kay turns back to me, and I repeat that people are scared. He relaxes, and I drop the mag and unload the chamber on the gun.
Open your eyes.
It sets in for him. He says sorry and retreats to his room. Em and I exchange glances of bewilderment, and the boyfriend of the girl who bolted says he needs to go find her. We agree to help, and the rest of the group quickly exits. That night, Em and I did not get much sleep. But we did get up early to discuss what we should do. We talked about getting him reassigned or even evicted, but a quick call to the office informed us that they couldn't do anything if we didn't file a police report. Neither of us, feeling totally faultless or interested in involving the police, didn't opt for that. As we were talking though, Kay walked through the front door with a 6-pack of beer, clearly having gotten up before us. He apologized profusely and offered the beer as a peace offering. He also told us that he trashed his knife collection that morning, since he was afraid of what he might do with it. We apologized for being loud and for not asking him about Saturday specifically, but also, again, suggest that he move to a place that was more compatible with his lifestyle. Shortly after that, our lease was up. Em graduated and moved a few towns over for work. Kay left student housing and decided to move in with known entities, but stayed at the complex. I couldn't figure out a way to fit into the story what makes this a story for r/NeckbeardStories, but basically all the little stories about Kay leading up to this is what made me think it fits. If there's anything I can clear up, let me know. I'm not gonna say that threatening people with a knife is like a good thing to do at any point, but it did achieve the desired results. Shut the fuck up, turn that shit down, and everybody's like, okay, music's off, let's all leave. It is kind of weird because, like, I guess he didn't have to work or whatever the next day, but this has obviously been building for a very, very long time. And I think that those little stories leading up to all this probably should have been shared before this, like, huge climactic event that makes Kay appear like some sort of fucking nutso, but really, who drove him nuts? You know what I mean? It's pretty obvious that you guys are just making his life a living hell. He sleeps in a fucking closet, okay? He's just a jolly guy that volunteers at a haunted house and sings Phantom of the Opera, and you guys are like, fuck this kid, man. Let's throw another party. You know he's got to work tomorrow. Like, you could be understanding. You don't have to be the one to host all the parties, do you? Now, I might be jumping to Kay's defense mostly because I am a fellow introvert. You know, if I have like even just 2 or 3 extra people at the house, my anxiety fucking shoots up. I'm like, please don't come in. Don't touch any of my things. Like, I need to know where you are at all times. I need to have control of the situation. And, you know, he doesn't feel like he has control of his own living situation, which is absolutely insane. He pays his rent. You guys are supposed to be his roommate. I understand that you tried to work it out and hold up your end of the deal like a stand-up guy, but obviously you didn't hold up your fucking end of the deal, did ya? We're just a couple of bros who like drinking and sports ball. Fuck that neckbeard who goes to conventions. Like, dude, Kay seems like a perfectly nice and normal dude, and I think that OP essentially drove him to this, you know? And then wants to paint the picture like, look at this crazy guy. There's much more to this story than meets the eye. I definitely know where I would place the blame for this situation unfolding, and I'll tell you right goddamn now that it ain't on Kay's shoulders, okay? And then I just find it so rich that he's like, yeah, you know, me and this dude are managers now, and we've got conflict resolution skills, and we're really empathetic. Like, you are exactly the type of person that I would expect to be a middle manager. Oh, tell me about all your time watching sports ball and being cool in college. That's what I care about. God. I might have gone a little hard on OP in this one. I'm sure some people will have my head in the comments, but like, come on, dude. OP clearly admits faults, tries to build up his defense right at the beginning, and won't apologize for any of what happened at the end of the day. I said I wouldn't say it again, but I'm gonna say it one more time. What a fucking douche. Now I'm gonna breathe deep. We need to blow some of that steam off because we got Moonhorse coming in here in just a minute, and he's gonna calm us down with his soothing voice, and everything's gonna be okay, I promise. So let's go ahead and jump into the next story. Let's all welcome back user Pajama Paladin. She did the inflation beard story, which I will leave a link to in the description if you'd like to listen to it. And the OP will be voiced by the one and only Moonhorse, so big you're welcome there. Because she came and said hi to me in my subreddit there, so I wanted to bestow upon her a little bit of honor. Anyways, Gatekeeping Neckbeard tries to get a pity hookup. Ooh, sounds about par for the course. Through this subreddit, I have learned that I possibly classify as beard bait. I'm a game developer, visual effects artist, who loves cartoons and anime alike. I've been casually playing D&D, and I count myself blessed to have not dealt with the nasty scenarios that some poor souls have with that game. I've also picked up the hobby of cosplaying during lockdown. It's been a great way to challenge myself with fashion choices and makeup and hairstyling. With all of the listed above, and me being a woman in an industry dominated by men, it's fair to say that I'm the target of many a hot and bothered or hot-headed neckbeard. I'm still a rookie with dating and relationships, but my first dating experience was more or less unsavory. I use a lot of things that happened to learn and grow from to this day, and now I know better about particular red flags and what specifically to avoid. Back then, though, I didn't know better. This took place the same summer that the inflation beard story took place. I had not been dating or in any relationship up until this point. Relationships at my grade school days had a flair for the dramatic, and the men in high school were going through that Duck Dynasty phase. That didn't interest me at all. That is unfortunate. Oh, mess up number one of many in this story. I made a Plenty of Fish account. I lived in a retirement community. I was bored out of my mind. It was either Plenty of Fish or jumping in the canal in the backyard and becoming buddies with the gators. Looking back, that probably would have been the better option. Gators are kind. Now, due to Plenty of Fish being a free platform, there is no shortage of freaks and creeps on it. And with gamer/artist in my profile, I was definitely getting the more obscure ones. One of them actually managed to break through and ask me out on a date. The only difference between this man and the others was that he did not open up with,
I'm a nice guy.
or
Does the carpet match the drapes?
my standards were that low back then. I agreed to let him take me out to dinner nearby at a tiki bar by the beach. Ooh, fancy. He arrived in his truck and actually had a large white teddy bear as a gift for me. He was a fairly attractive person, like a solid 7 out of 10 by Florida standards. Like a 3-4 out of 10 by California standards, I guess. He was by no means gussied up for this date, and in my defense, I wasn't much of a looker myself. We get sat down at the table, and the waving of red flags commences. Usually when my date learns that I'm in game development, the dreaded question comes up.
So, what games do you play?
On one hand, I hate being asked this question because, as a girl, there's really no right answer to it. On the other hand, though, there's nothing more revealing in a man than their taste in video games. Uh-oh. I'm gonna keep my head low on that one. Sure enough, the question comes up. Let's call this charmer Gatebeard, and you will understand why soon enough. Our cast, GB, Gatebeard, and PP, OP, voiced by Moonhorse. Gatebeard.
So, what games do you play?
OP.
I've actually been into horror games lately.
Gatebeard.
Oh, really? What kind?
PP.
Well, I was enjoying Outlast and Outlast Whistleblower, but since I don't have a PC fit for gaming anymore, I enjoy games that are more comfortable on laptop builds. I really enjoyed Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included.
Primo picks, by the way. I really like Don't Starve and Oxygen Not Included. Not so much for horror games, but Clay Entertainment does good stuff. Gatebeard.
What kind of game art student doesn't have a PC to play real games on?
OP.
Broke one. Money's kind of tight right now with tuition.
Gatebeard.
Do you have any consoles?
OP.
Yeah, an Xbox 360.
Gatebeard?
Well, when you find some money and want to play a real horror game, you should play Dark Souls.
Really, bro? Not Bloodborne? Dark Souls? You sure? All right.
Have you heard of it?
OP.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
Gatebeard then proceeds to explain to me Dark Souls, despite me telling him that I was already familiar with it. In addition, he boasted about how he was
An MLG Pro.
God. That's good cringe. And how refined his taste in video games were. Can you guess what he played? Yep, Call of Duty. To which I got another dosage of mansplaining on what a Rudy Tooty Shooty game is and how Call of Duty is
The only real game left nowadays.
Oh, God. I hate to gatekeep anything lest I become a gatebeard myself, but bro, Call of Duty for real? This, in and of itself, was a red flag big enough to where nowadays I probably wouldn't even finish the meal. However, I was just happy that someone was even remotely interested in me enough to go on a date. I could swallow my pride back then, even though I really shouldn't have. The dinner was followed with a romantic walk on the beach. Well, about as romantic as it could get, I guess. He was sharing some nice compliments, to which I mutually said he was being adorable. However, that got a reaction out of him. Gatebeard?
Don't do that.
OP?
Do what?
Gatebeard?
That! Call a guy cute or adorable. Men don't like being called that. Men are not cute.
I like being called cute, though. This should have been red flag number 2, but as you may have caught on by now, I am a certified social dumbass. At least at this point in your life. You know, live and learn. The date ended with a kiss, which that in and of itself was not bad, and he dropped me off at home, safe and sound. Before he managed to milk a second date out of me, there were even more red flags via text. He thought it was only fair to tell me,
Oh, and by the way, I'm allergic to latex.
you know where that one's headed, dude.
I'm also allergic to polyurethane and lambskin.
Oh, that's too bad, bro. My vagina's made out of lambskin. I told him, great, thanks for sharing that. Don't know what the hell that has to do with me. I made it clear that I was not looking for a hookup, and I thought like any normal human being, he would respect that. My sweet summer child. However, he reminded me a few more times, along with saying stuff like,
Tell me you're mine.
and other eerie shit like that. That is horrifying. The second date was rather uneventful. We went to go see a movie. Warcraft was in theaters at that time. Of course, he went to see Warcraft. The worst thing he did was try to grope my chest, but when I told him to stop, he did, thankfully. I think he was starting to catch on that he was not going to get what he was hunting for, so a day before what we had planned to be our third date, he pulled this gem of a situation out of his ass. This conversation took place in the span of one day. OP?
Hey man, how's your day going?
Gatebeard?
Not good. My dog died this morning.
OP?
Oh no, I'm sorry, are you okay?
Gatebeard?
I'll be fine. Just gonna get myself to work.
3 hours later. Gatebeard?
I lost my job.
OP?
Really? How'd that happen?
Gatebeard?
I got into a fight with my boss. He said some nasty shit about my dog being dead.
Boss is like, good, fuck that dog. I didn't like him anyways. 2 hours later, Gatebeard says,
I lost my house.
mind you, he lived with his parents at the time. OP?
Oh man, what happened?
Gatebeard?
Dad got pissed that I lost my job, so I got into a fight with him.
OP?
2 fights in one day?
Gatebeard?
Yeah, I've lost everything.
OP?
I'm really sorry, man. You're in my thoughts. Is there anything I can do? Just let me know.
Gatebeard?
Well, I'm actually gonna be crashing at my friend's place for a while. It's a really nice flat. Do you maybe want to come over for the weekend?
OP?
I'm not super comfortable staying overnight with someone I hardly know, Chief.
Gatebeard?
Please, I really need you. You're all I got right now. We could just watch movies and cuddle. Nothing freaky, I promise. That sounds fun, right?
OP?
Sorry, GB, that's just a little too much for me. I'm not okay with it.
Needless to say, I didn't hear back from him when he was supposed to pick me up on the date. He blocked me on all social media without any explanation at all. I actually cried over this asshat, which, I mean, in my defense, it was the first real date that I had had, so of course I was a little upset. Nowadays, I know my worth, and thanks to story sharing spaces like this, and the lovely storytellers on other platforms, I know what to avoid or take caution in. I recently got out of a relationship where my ex and I are remaining friends. No bad reasons why we broke up. He just had a huge opportunity with his career and I can't go with him, sadly. So for now, I'm taking more time to learn and grow before jumping back into the dating pool. Also, I saw that ReddX read my previous story about NECKBEARD, as he had dubbed him, over on his YouTube channel. Hopefully this tale won't get his video demonetized if he opts to read it. I think there's much less risk of this one getting demonetized. I was basically worried about NECKBEARD because I said fetish a lot. Oh, shit, I said it again. You can't say that certain F word, and you also can't say the other F word with too much frequency. Frequency's not the F word that I'm talking about. Anyways, wasn't it so cool? Wasn't it so cool to have Moonhorse reading some stuff for us?
Hope that you enjoyed whatever I did here, so thanks again for doing a collab with me.
I really like that. I'm gonna try and get Walter Fate. I'm gonna try and get Fun with Failure. I'm gonna send a message to every Reddit reader out there and see if they'll even respond to me.
Will you talk to me, please? My dog died.
That is just so absolutely wild, dude. I know what was gonna happen if you went over there for the weekend. It was not going to be just cuddling and watching movies. And even with a certain amount of naivete, OP realized that too, so good on you for avoiding what could have been a very bad situation. The whole allergic to latex thing fucking kills me, dude. Why not just ask a chick straight out? Be like, are you cool if I raw dog it? She'll say no, but she might actually respect that you just had the balls to come out and ask. Instead of making up excuses and shit. Try to creep on me like this, tell me you're allergic to latex, I'm gonna come to your house with like balloons, fucking latex paint, rubber bands wrapped around my arms. Let's put that allergy to the test, son. Oh, it's just condom. It's just the latex condoms. Okay, that's cool. I totally believe that. The most unfortunate part is that this dude is still out there. He's still creeping, you know, and probably some chicks weren't as smart or lucky as OP and ended up in a terrible situation with this freak. Maybe they're now boyfriend and girlfriend, and that poor girlfriend has to watch him play every single iteration of Call of Duty for the next umpteenth years. She'll be like, this one isn't any different. And he'll be like,
Yeah, it is. You can drop a supply crate in this one.
oh, bro, that's worth paying for. I stand corrected. I'd like to know what OP thinks about like my choice of games, you know? I'm really into Nintendo stuff, open world things, Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, Wilmot's Warehouse, Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight, all the Knight games. I really like platforming stuff. Just simple games that you can sit down, play for a little bit, have some fun, then shut it off and go back to work on your YouTube. That's how I'm living my life these days, and I'm loving it. If you guys would like to help me continue living this lovely dream, I sincerely hope that you will like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around. You'll be driving some traffic not only to me, but also to Moonhorse, which is super cool. His channel link is in the description if you haven't been over there already. We've also got a lot of other stuff in the description that wasn't featured on the splash page. That includes my personal subreddit, r/ReddX Reads, my wife's channel, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX, and my brand new Teespring store, which is super cool. I tried to price things as fairly as possible, so you're not going to be paying like 30-40 bucks for a t-shirt. So maybe pick something up and help the word of ReddX to spread even farther. I would definitely be appreciative for that. Speaking of being appreciative, you might see some names on the screen right now. Those are my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. And of course, as always, I would like to thank all of them, but specifically ZeroMMX, Lady Nix, Robert Waits, Pope Squid, Rebecca H, Cider Drinker, Tato Ferret, The Last Shinobi, Mark211, Michael Undead, Aaron W, Mitch, John Hero, Josh K, Candy Sora, DigiNZ, Fire Drake, Little Lone Wolf, Lone Island, Shara, Marvoana, Miss Monday, Katie Min, and a brand new friend joining us today, Silent Revolver. And he is shooting the big bullets, I'll tell you that. Thank you so much, dude. Quite a chunk of change to add to the Patreon. And I'm super appreciative because sometimes videos do get demonetized. I think this one will be relatively safe though. If anybody else can help monetarily, that is massively, massively appreciated. Either through the Patreon, the PayPal link, buying some t-shirts. It's just all huge to me. By the way, if you want a free t-shirt, get to level 50 in my Discord and I will send you a free t-shirt. Nobody has reached it yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of time. But if you can't afford it right now, don't sweat it too hard, my dudes. I just appreciate you coming on through and hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. Anyways, in order to join us again, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there, wash your hands, super important, but also take some time out to do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe watch another ReddX video. Nothing wrong with that. You could also watch another Moonhorse video. Nothing wrong with that either. We're bros now, you see? But I do appreciate you stopping by, friends. And please always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely, definitely deserve it. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.